Okay, so thank you very much for logging in this evening. And this evening, I'm going to do some training on your business page and branding yourself as well. So I hope that you get some use out of it. Um, and make sure you've got a pen and pad ready to take lots of notes as well. So, like I say, I hope you get something out of it, and let's get going. So, why is branding important? Well, firstly, it helps prospects know who you are and what you stand for. So this is really, really important because it's going to help you separate yourself from the crowd. So as we know, we're not the only forever business owners in the whole world. There are other people who have a business forever. So you need to make sure that you stand out from the masses, and that is what is going to help you carve yourself out as someone who's well known in the company, someone that people are going to want to seek out and work with, someone that's going to attract lots of prospects, and so on. So any business has to brand itself. It's actually a very, very important part, and the businesses that don't brand themselves properly often get into trouble because people don't really know what they do, they don't really know what they stand for, and it can be very confusing for people. So you need to know what your brand is, and you need to start thinking about how you want to brand yourself. It sets expectations. So, if your brand, maybe your three top values are honesty, integrity, and like caring or something like that, it means that your prospects and your customers know what they're getting from your brand, and it sets their expectations up. It's also good for helping people make emotional connections to your brand, which is obviously what you want. So basically, when you're prospecting, you want to help people create an emotional connection to the business. So that can also mean making a connection with you and your brand and what you stand for and how you make people feel. So a good question to ask yourself is, if you could have any celebrity, dead or alive, to represent your business, who would it be? That really, really makes you think about your branding and, what you want to, how you want to represent yourself and your business. And also, it's important because it helps you start with why. So if you have a chance to go on YouTube and look up a guy called Simon Sinek, that's Simon, S-I-N for November, E-K, Simon Sinek. He does a lot of great things about why companies like Apple are so successful, and it's because they start with the why. So they don't say, buy our computers, they're better than everyone else's. They start with their belief. So their belief is to have beautiful looking computers that are functional and state of the art. So they start with why they do what they do, and then they go on to move on to other things. Whereas a lot of companies won't really do that. They'll just try and convince you as to why you should buy their products. But any great leaders or thought leaders in the world, so for example, Martin Luther King, he did that famous speech, I Have a Dream. He never actually told anyone he was doing it and where he was doing it, but thousands of people turned up because they all believed in the same thing as him. So your why is your one of your strongest parts of your brand, because it's what will attract people to you, people who have the same drive and the same beliefs about life. Okay, so personal branding. So these are some 6 steps that you can use to help you brand yourself. So first of all, you need to define your overall aspirations. So you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. So see it as a little bit of a mission statement, or if you were to describe to someone in one sentence why you're doing what you're doing, then this will really help you brand yourself. Do a little bit of research. So how are those who have made it to where you want to be conducting their personal branding efforts? So that's having a look at people you look up to in Forever and seeing what they do. So how can you learn from them? You know, who are your biggest competitors and what are they doing to brand themselves? So, you know, I'm always stalking Angela Cochran's business page because I see her as the pinnacle of, you know, fantastic social media branding. So I literally just copy her, but I see like what she's doing and I get ideas from that and how I can maybe like improve upon it. Step 3, determine your brand attributes. What do you want your personal brand to convey? What adjectives do you want people to associate with you and why? And in what niche of the market do you want to become known? So, you know, if you wanted people to describe your business in 3 adjectives, what would they be? And then maybe being honest with yourself. If people were going to describe it now, what would they use? And how do you need to change your brand so that you can take it from what it is to where you want it to be? And the niche. So niche means, for example, people who like those miniature pigs, those micro pigs, that's a niche market. So if you were to bring out a website on how to look after micro pigs, that would be very niche because you have a specific target audience. Now, in Forever, it's very hard to wrap your head around this because, especially when you're first starting out, you want to attract every man and his dog because you just want to sponsor, and that's totally understandable. But you will actually find as time goes on, you need to target who you kind of want to work with, and you need to have a bit of a niche. So again, what is going to make you stand out from other people and other business owners? Step 4, assess your current state. How do people currently perceive you? You know, how large is the gap between the current you and the person you want others to perceive you to be? And what needs to change and why? So I was going to, you know, do a review of people's business pages, but I decided not to do that in the end. However, you know, you can contact your upline or maybe your friends and family and just ask for an honest view on, you know, either your personal page or your business page. Step 5, create your game plan. You know, how are you going to brand yourself? You need to brand yourself the same way across social media, have the same name. You know, what are you going to be known for? Are you going to put something different on your photos, maybe a little kind of symbol? Or when you are writing on your social media, you need to have a well-defined way of doing this so that people know that it's you. So for example, you know, if you're wanting people to see you as a professional business owner who's into healthy living and fitness, you know, you can't be or say that you're part of your brand, you want to be known as being really glamorous. You don't want to be then posting pictures of you looking scruffy and being hungover, because that will go completely against the grain of your brand, and it can actually upset people. So if you imagine those photos of celebrities without makeup, they'll do anything to avoid those being published because they, you know, if you imagine someone like Beyonce, she wants you to have this, you know, image of her brand, and that's what you associate with her. And whenever she writes something or posts something on her social media, it will always be very similar, and you'll know that it's her. So again, you need to make sure that you're being consistent in the way that you're branding yourself. Step 6, manage your brand. So make sure that you're managing it properly. Too many people play around with social media, and in my opinion, if you want to be very successful in this business, you need to embrace it. So if you've kind of not taken it very seriously or anything like that so far, you need to do that, even if you don't particularly enjoy it or you maybe don't see the point of it. then you will seriously miss out, and sorry to be harsh, but you'll be seriously left behind as well. So you need to make it a priority to learn about social media and how to make the most of it, because it can literally make or break your business. So make sure you're not creating a mismatched brand. For example, down at the bottom it says, if you're trying to brand yourself as a savvy project team leader, don't, write negative opinions about what people are wearing at the Oscars, or then posting about your vacation, or your holiday, sorry, because it's too different. It's just a bit kind of like all over the place. So your brand needs to be really neat, really tidy and really consistent. So it's worth putting a lot of thought into it. But first of all, you have to get your personal page right. Now, again, this is something I feel really strongly about. And if you don't listen to the rules and you don't kind of jump in on the rules, then you can seriously slow your progress, especially on Facebook. Now, when you have your personal page, you need to make sure that you've got a really clear profile picture. Now, even my profile picture is not good enough. It should be more professional, probably, but it's very clear, and you can tell it's me. It's a nice photo which fits with my branding because I look quite glamorous, and that's part of who I want to be. So I want people to perceive me as glam. So, for example, I wouldn't post on my Facebook something that would go against the grain of that. I can't exactly think of an example, but we've all seen some pretty untasteful stuff on Facebook. You see, I would never ever share things like that. So, for example, videos or pictures of animal abuse. I see that quite a lot on my Facebook. As much as I hate animal abuse and I feel very strongly against it, I would never ever post it on my Facebook, because it's completely against any of my branding. Because it will make people feel uneasy and things like that, and I don't want people to feel like that when they come on my page. A nice cover photo as well. You can use a website called PicMonkey, which is fab for doing photos for your cover page, which will fit perfectly. Don't have anything to do with forever on there, whatever you do. So a nice clear picture. It could be your kids or a motivational quote or whatever, but I like these ones because they look personalised and it looks like a lot of thought has gone into it as well. Now, when you look in the mirror, I'm pretty sure that most of you don't see a sheep. However, this is something I see all the time. People blindly following these kind of random things that happen on Facebook, for example, posting a picture of you when you were a child, or posting a picture of your dog or something like that to raise awareness of something or another. Again, these things might be important to you on some level, but you really have to think all of the time about your brand and about your business. And if you want to build a manager style business and earn, really good money, get the car, get the holidays, you are not going to get very far if your profile picture is a dog or a flower or your baby's bum or whatever I've seen. Because you have to think how people perceive it. So if I was invited to look at a business and I went on the profile of the person who invited me and I had no idea who they were because their profile picture was a flower, and they didn't have a cover photo, it would put me off straight away. So yes, it's nice sometimes, I understand that, and these things go on Facebook and it's nice, but you're running a business, so you need to keep your profile picture actually completely stable and only change it maybe 2 or 3 times a year, so that people get used to you, and people don't like it when you change photos a lot. So make sure that you are putting your goals first, which means putting your business first and not being a sheep and following what everyone else is doing. And always ask yourself, what would Rex think? Are you swearing on your page? This goes for, on social media, it's obviously important to brand yourself, but you're also a walking, talking brand. So, when you're at business presentations, are you swearing? Are your team swearing? It's not acceptable at all. And you can seriously put people off, other people or other guests that are in the room. Again, are you sharing things that are a bit, untasteful on Facebook? Are you posting things that, you can literally put off a prospect with one single post? Now, it's not to say that you need to be generic and boring and never post anything of any interest for fear of, offending someone. I'm going to get onto that a little bit later, but you really, really do need to think, no swearing, no pictures of you drinking out of a bottle, Philippa Williams. No pictures of you falling out of a cab, no pictures of you. All these things you've got to think. If you want people, don't moan that people are ignoring your inboxes or aren't taking you seriously when your Facebook just isn't reflecting it. So really, really give yourselves, be honest with yourselves. Are you getting your personal page right? Okay, so why bother having a business page? Again, it's going to make you look far more professional. It's going to help you with your branding and help you stand out as well. Because like I said, there are other people doing forever. Not all of them have a business page. And the ones that do have business pages, not all of them are very good. It's going to help you promote your lifestyle. It's going to help you talk about the business on a far larger scale than you possibly can on your personal page. And it's going to help people know who you are, what it's like to work with you, what it's like to have a business like yours, what it's like to be mentored by you, what it's like to be a part of your team, and so on. Okay, so why can't you have a product page? This is something that I really coach against. Because I've never met a single person that's had a lot of success through product pages. Now, if you want to, you can go away and do a bit of research on something called a landing page. Now, a landing page is something that is completely compliant, and you can create a landing page, which means that people that are searching for aloe vera products or the type of products that we sell will come across your landing page and be directed to your retail shop. That, if you put the time and effort into it, will be far more successful than a Facebook product page, and it will run in the background without anyone knowing it's there. And if I have time, I will do training on it. But the reason you can't have a Facebook product page, or the reason I strongly advise against it, is, like I say, I've never met a single person who's had a lot of success with it. But the main reason I say to people not to do it is because I'm sure all of you have had an objection which goes something like, I don't like selling, I don't want to sell, I'm not good at sales, is it selling, etc. Now, I would bet all of my savings that 99% of you immediately respond with, no, it's not selling. And I'd also bet all my savings that most of you don't like to use the word selling and avoid using the word selling to people. And I know I certainly do. I always use the word retail. So if you have someone interested in the business and you tell them it's not selling and you have a page specifically designed to sell products, you're basically being a hypocrite. So you're saying it's one thing, but then you're doing another. And, well, going back to branding, that's going to make people think, can I trust this person? This seems a bit odd. Anyone who's been enormously successful in forever has not got a product page. which I think is evidence in itself, because they understand that network marketing is not about selling a load of product. It's about using a bit, retailing a bit, and then building your network of people that also do the same. So it just doesn't serve you in any way. Instead, use product placement. So I've got this screenshot from Natalie, who I know is a little bit of a superstar with her product placement posts. So as you can see, she's completely compliant. She's used like the hashtag ad, and it's a lovely personal photo of her with the product. You know, things like that now and again, a couple of times a week on your Facebook, on your personal page, are absolutely fine. I did a post the other day with my protein pancakes. I had a nice ultralight in the background. So, you know, this is the way to talk about product on your social media. Okay, so there's kind of 3 steps to creating a Facebook marketing plan using your business page. So the number 1 step is attraction. This is something that people, again, don't seem to wrap their heads around. So when you start your business and you start your business page, you are not going to immediately attract a load of inboxes like, what is it you do? Can I join your business? It's just not going to happen. Like the business itself, your business page is going to take time and care and effort and nurturing to get up to the level where it attracts people by itself. And I'm going to go into that, how you can do that a little bit later. But first of all, you need to build a community or a fan base, if you like, and generate engagement. The way that you're going to do that is by making sure that you're posting lots of content. And by content, that means, words and pictures on stuff that is completely unrelated to the business. So you are not just going to have business post after business post after business post after business post. And I'll go through that a little bit later, and how you can start to do that. What's going to happen is you're going to start building, those likes on your Facebook page. You're going to start to attract the kind of people you want to work with, the kind of people that are looking for what you've got. It always helps to create a persona of your, perfect prospect. So if you've not done that already, write down the top 3 attributes of your perfect prospect. And that's going to help you. That's going to be your first starting point for how you're going to run your business page from now on. So write that down. You need to post really good content consistently. Now, this is the same for anyone who does blogging. It's very easy to start a blog. Anyone can do it. It's very easy to start a website. The difference is the content. So you need to put stuff in there that people find interesting and that is of value to them and that brings them something, of value. That is so, so important. And these are the kind of things that will make you stand out. And the people that have the most impact on Facebook are the ones who post every single day with different types of content. So you need to have a posting plan for your Facebook page. And again, I'm going to go through that in a minute. And what's going to happen is people are going to trust you. They're going to start coming to you for advice. They're going to start following your page, and all this is really, really important. And they're going to start to come to you if they've got questions about certain things. So you need to start growing your community. The second part of a marketing plan is promotion. So again, you are going to have promotional posts littered in with your content. So these will be business posts, and very rarely you will have very obvious recruitment posts, and these are the ones that you might boost for people to see. So a study by Buddy Media showed that posted 80 characters or fewer gets up to 27% more engagement. So you've probably heard of Rosie Charles and her kind of insanely good response from her boosted post. And she taught me that it was because it was very short. And it had a clear call to action. So she actually did both of these things. It was a short post and it was a clear call to action. So the call to action is what you want people to do. It sounds really obvious, but you need to put things like message me, call me, text me, and things like that. So those will be part of your kind of promotional posts. And then sales. Now, obviously the point of your Facebook business page is to generate prospects. That goes without saying. So you need to, like I say, have those promotional posts, and on top of the promotional posts, you're going to have obvious recruitment posts, which is what links into this step 3. Someone's if you've got the login for this, can you mute yourself? I don't know who it might be. Maybe Andrea or Tracy. Just make sure you're muted if you've got the login for my webinar. Just heard someone sniffle. So one really good thing you can do, and to get feedback and kind of engagement on your Facebook business page, is to ask questions. Now, if you're like me, I've been running my Facebook page completely wrong up until about 3 weeks ago. So now when I post questions, I rarely get an answer. However, I know it's because I just need to build up my audience and build up the people that are following me. So I know it's only a matter of time, but it's a great way to get people to engage with you, the people that are following you on there. Okay, so some top business page tips. Your personal page needs to be completely personal. If you want to talk about the business on your personal page, then what you need to do is get into the habit of sharing posts from your business page onto your personal page. So I will never, this is something I've changed recently, I will never post about my business directly onto my personal page. If I'm going to do that, I actually share it, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. But what this means is that when I'm sharing content, for example, if I'm sharing something about fitness, I can share that onto my personal page, and what it will pop up with Anime Terry shared Anime Terry's post, and people will be able to see that I've written about getting fit, and then they're more likely to click through to my business page because it's not just another, generic business post. So if all you're posting about on your business page is business, you're going to limit the number of people that are clicking through. Whereas if you share your content from your business page onto your personal page, that will direct traffic to your business page, and then people will be able to see that you run a business as well. So now that you've written down the top 3 attributes of your perfect prospect, you want to write down 3 topics that you feel passionate about. So these are things that you could write about all day, that you love. So for example, it could be fitness, it could be your family, it could be interior design, animals, photography, travel, anything. And what you're going to do is have a look at those 3 topics and a look at your 3 top attributes of your prospects, and you're going to see how they marry together, and you're going to use that to pick 3 topics that you're going to write content on. So 3 is a nice manageable number, and obviously you're going to put a plan in place on when you're going to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So as well, you need to obviously never share product or selling posts, which is a given. Pick a successful FBO and copy what they do. That's the easiest thing to do. Like I said, a totally Facebook stalk Angela Crim. Make sure your photo is professional. If you've got a friend that has a nice camera, why not buddy up and get some professional photos done? It's not really that hard to do with decent lighting, so you don't really need to pay for it. But I definitely think it's worth doing. Make sure you've got a nice, attractive cover photo. Optimize your photos with description, with a link. So when people click on your profile photo, in the comment section, put a link to your short link, and same with the cover photo. And make sure you've got the call to action button as watch this video so that people can click on that and watch the short link that you've kind of chosen as your favourite. Okay, so what I do every week is I schedule my business posts, which I'm going to show you how to do. So when you've decided on your 3 topics, you're going to make sure you've got a weekly schedule. I schedule posts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday evenings because my target audience is young professionals. It's not really mums. So if your target audience is mums, you might be better scheduling them for like 7 in the morning or whenever the school run is. So I schedule 5 posts a week, and I also do spontaneous posts. So if you go on my business page now, you'll see I've just done a post about doing this training. But this means if I haven't got time to do anything on my business page, I know that there's content going on really regularly. So on a Monday, I'll post about fitness. So this is a real big interest of mine on like the best way to lose weight, and obviously it links in as well. So at the minute, I'm trying to drop about 13% body fat. So I'm kind of blogging about that through my business page. So if you go onto Angela Loughran's business page and personal page, they're almost indistinguishable apart from Ange obviously posts a lot more about business on the business page. So the business page is kind of an extension of your personal page. So fitness, that's what I post about on Mondays. Tuesdays I do a success post, so this will be about someone hitting a promotion or someone hitting a incentive or something like that. Wednesday I post about interior design because this is another real big passion of mine. Now, part of my branding, like I said, I want to be known as like glamorous, and I love beautiful things. I love beautiful hotels and beautiful spaces and houses, and I've done an interior design course, so I just love. I'm a really visual person, so I love all of that. So I know that the kind of person I'm looking for will also be like that. So on Wednesdays I post like beautiful images of hotels or interior design things that I really like. Thursday I do a lifestyle post. So obviously that one was the fact that I was just working from a cafe. Sunday I do business posts. So this will be things like trainings or something that's obviously shows that I'm running a business and stuff. So that's my kind of schedule for the week. You can obviously make your own, but as you can see, I actually have more non-business related posts than I do business related posts. So make sure you've got a good ratio. So when people are going onto your business page, they see a person, not just a business, and there's really interesting stuff for the kind of people you want to work with. So if you want to target mums, your 3 topics that you might post about are your family. So, I don't know, interesting content about having children, like tips on bringing children up or tips on fun things to do with children in the holidays and things like that. It might be time management. Maybe that's something you're like my body fat drop journey. Maybe your journey is like I'm trying to be more. I'm trying to better manage my time, and you can share things that are helping you to do that. So you might attract, your perfect prospect might be a busy mum who's working and has the kids and wants more time with the children. So you would post things about the fact that that's your mission as well. And the way you're trying to do that is obviously through the business, but also improving your time management and so on. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So some really good examples of great business pages. Obviously, Moi is up there. So like I said, I've actually been running it completely wrong. Up until about 3 weeks ago, I realised I was putting 0 content on and just business. So I've changed that now. So you can go on there and hopefully get some good ideas. Ange Loughran is just, the best. So always go on her and take inspiration. Like I say, you'll see it's very, very personal. She's got a really professional picture, professional cover photo. If you go onto her personal page, you can tell that's more personal, but this is like a perfectly run business page. Claire Spencer is fantastic at social media. So go and have a look. Now, make sure you're not following too many because you'll get people over there. But you can just go and check on it now and again. That's what I do, that following it. Emma Schumarks is lovely. Perfect branding there. So her cover photo matches her profile photo because she's got black and white in there, and she's got a nice colour scheme. So your colour scheme is really, really important as well. So that's a beautiful Facebook page. Okay, so how to share to your personal page. So you go on your business page and you click share on the post that you've just written that you want to share. And after that, click share, not share now or send as message, click the share. And then make sure that you're sharing to your own timeline. Make sure you're not resharing to your business page. This is really, really important. And what will happen is it will go onto your personal page, and say you are, you've decided one of your topics is going to be family, and you are going to write about a Sunday family day. What you want to do is post it on your business page and then share it onto your personal page. Something like lovely day out with the family. And then people will be more inclined to click through to have a look and be nosy. And then they're going to come across your business page and see, oh, also you've got this business and things like that. So I hope that makes sense. Boosting posts is a really great way to generate interest to your page. But before you do it, make sure that you've got at least 2, 3, even maybe 4 weeks of decent content on there, and you can backdate your post. So if you go to, I'll show you in a second. So make sure you've got a page worth boosting. And to boost a post, you click on boost post. And then what's going to happen is it's going to ask you who you want your audience to be. You need to choose people you choose through targeting. And this is where knowing your target audience comes into play. So for me, for example, when I was boosting before, I was just picking any man and his dog. I was not bothered, and I was actually not having a very good response. So on your business page, you can have a look. If you go to Insights, so here, it'll say Insights. If you go to Insights, you can see it will literally tell you the age and the gender and the interests of people that have liked your page. So using that, I now boost to only women aged between 25 and 35, and I pick like certain interests. So you can see I put there Selfridges, Range Rover, shopping and things like that. And this will get you much, much better results if you know your audience and who you're trying to target. To schedule posts, so if you're very busy, then you want to sit down for about half an hour and bang out, your 5 posts for the week, and you don't need to do it every day, you can just schedule. Now, as you can see there, you can type your post, and what you do is you click this little arrow here, not publish, click this little arrow, and click schedule. But like I said, you can backdate things if you feel like your business page maybe isn't as good as it could have been and you want to backdate some posts. You click schedule, and then what it'll do is it'll bring up a kind of date and time, and then you just pick the date and time. And that's it. It's really, really simple. Okay, so boring but important. Remember, you have to stay compliant. Good news though, if you put the income disclaimer, you need the income disclaimer, the head office address in your about section. But you do not have to post the income disclaimer with every single post you do on your business page. This is why I say to share from your business page onto your personal page, because that way you can get around having to do the income disclaimer. You do, however, need to try and share it on around every fourth post, if you remember to do that. Always remember to be honest and ethical as well. So if you're just starting out, or maybe you've been doing it a while and you've not really moved forward in your business, don't ever be tempted to mislead or somehow make your business look more successful than it is. That is not important to people. What's important to people is that you're someone that they trust, and someone they want to work with, someone who's interesting. That is what is important to people. So make sure your business page is beautifully run, and it won't matter how much money you're earning. And then when you are earning the big money, obviously you can promote that, but it's not important. Don't forget as well, Instagram, massively underused, as is Twitter. If you have an Instagram account, you can link that to your personal page, but what I tend to do is just copy any business page posts, or pretty much run my Instagram and my Twitter like I would my Facebook, so making sure it's mostly personal, but that it's obvious that I have a business as well, but more emphasis on what it would be like to work with me, and that we have lots of fun, and a lot of emphasis on who I am as a person and carving myself out as someone unique. So I hope that's helped. If you someone's asked a question. Does having a VIP page for customers fall into a product page? Okay, a couple of points. If you've got any more questions, by the way, guys, just pop them in the question box. You should have one. One definite no-no, going back to products, is these groups that I see. So often I see people making private groups and adding people to them who've not asked to be added. I myself have been added to a lot, not by Forever People, but by other companies, and I hate it. I just sponsored an amazing girl called Rebecca, and she had also had this experience. And not only that, her prospect, who we spoke to on Sunday night, also had this experience, but from Forever People. You absolutely cannot do this. If you imagine those people that try and sell Sky to you in the shopping centres, okay? Now, this might sound dramatic, but this is what I liken it to. Instead of them saying to you, oh, excuse me, madam, you've got 5 minutes to talk about Sky, and I can say, like, oh, no, I'm really sorry, I'm really busy. Or even the people that try and sell you charity subscriptions, I can say, I'm really sorry, I'm busy, or I'm late for work. It's literally like them grabbing your wrist and holding on to you until you've heard what they've got to say. Now, if someone did that to you, obviously be horrified. But that is what I liken it to. It's a social media equivalent of that. If people have not asked to be in a group, never ever, just don't make these groups. And if you ever catch people in your team doing it, you've got to tell them to stop. They make the whole business look absolutely horrendous and the whole industry look horrendous. However, a VIP page for customers, that I think is okay, but the way you need to do it is it needs to be secret, and you need to ask explicit permission from your customers if they would like to be added. And if they do, then that's absolutely fine because they've asked, but don't do this randomly adding people into a group. It's just horrendous. Okay, I hope that's answering your question. So Lucy said, I encourage my team to do VIP customer groups, but advise them only, so like I say, me and Lucy agree. So only if, they're a really good customer and you've asked them whether it's okay. So I hope that answered your question, Emma. So that's it, guys. I hope I've covered everything. If you've got any questions, or as always, I'd love to have feedback from you in the team pages. And if you're not, if you're in Martine Pinnington's team, Melanie Brooks' team, Jordana Buller's team, Rebecca Wilkinson's team, Hannah Shaw's team, Emma Chen's team, Kyla Rutter's team. Well, there's so many of you. If you're in that downline, leave me some feedback in Eagles so I can see it. And yeah, and if I've not answered any questions, then please feel free to inbox me and I'll do my best to reply as soon as possible. So I hope you all have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for listening, and I will speak to you all soon.